A call to action to build an army of protectors. The Invictus Project's fighting child exploitation, asking everyone to get involved. Whitney Miller is the Vice President of Development for the group. Tell us more about the Invictus Project. Tell us more about it.
Thank you so much for asking, Brad. So the Invictus Project is a nonprofit that has partnered alongside law enforcement to really combat the exploitation and trafficking of our children right here in the community. So we operate with our task force side. Our task force is composed of Forsyth, Alamance, Davidson, and Randolph County, as well as SBI and HSI.
We have done so many stories that we have had you involved, but it's interesting to hear more about the group behind the project.
Yeah.
I think every parent is concerned, but I think most parents don't know what to do.
You know,
we don't understand the threat.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And as a parent, I understand that. I think the scary part is sometimes we get focused on what's going on in the outside world and don't realize what our kids are interacting with every day on their
and how connected they are to the outside world and how easy it is. What advice do you give parents? How do you tell them this is what you need to do to monitor your kids and to make sure they're safe?
Well, I would say that, you know, the number one thing is, as parents, we have to be educated on what our kids are exposed to.
We've got to learn.
We do, because our kids know what's out there and what's going on. We as parents have to be educated so we can have those conversations. But more than anything, being actively engaged with our kids, I mean, that is, we see it time and time again, that is where it is really the most important piece.
Engaged in what way? I think most parents would say, I want to monitor your phone, I want to monitor your internet usage. Do we go that far? Or
You do.
Okay.
Absolutely. Monitoring.
You're not the meanest parent in the bunch.
Well, they might tell you
They
are.
might tell you, right.
But that's okay. We need to change that narrative, right? And letting our kids know that we are there to support them in that way, and that we're there to help set those healthy boundaries they're just not aware of how to do. So setting those parental controls is vital. It is.
I don't think they understand the danger that this can cause them, whether it be a stranger that wants to meet them or photos that get out there. It could be a lot of things. We understand how serious it is.
Yeah, we do.
It's hard for a kid to understand that.
It is, and as a parent, it's hard for us to come to the realization that the device we've handed them has really been like handing the keys to their bedroom to some random people.
Boy, it's scary. When you say it that way, you all of a sudden you start to understand.
Yes.
It is not a problem that's going to go away, and it's not a problem that's going to get better. You just have to mitigate it as a parent. You have to be that gatekeeper almost.
Absolutely. And have those conversations with your kids, right? Have those hard conversations that prompt the understanding, like, hey, you're there when those hard issues arise, right?
Yeah.
To have those talks. And when they receive pictures that are unwanted or unwarranted or scary, that they can come to you and say, Mom, I found something that made me feel not great. It made me feel a little uneasy. Can we talk about it?
And let them know it's okay to tell you this.
Yes.
Don't get mad at them. Say, thank you for thank you for letting me know.
Absolutely. You got to build that bridge.
They have to understand that line of communication needs to stay open.
Yeah.
At what age do you start having that conversation?
Ooh, oh man, you know, I wish I could say still in those teenage years, but it's not the case. We need to be having those conversations when they're 8, 9 years old. And even before that, when we talk about, you know, we do a lot of speaking at schools, and one of the things we talk about with our 3rd through 5th graders is, what does that internet safety look like? And what is that thing that gives you that feeling in your tummy that just doesn't feel right? Because they are viewing and seeing things that they should not be seeing on video games and the places we least expect it, right? So our kids are exposed to these things very early on. We have to have those conversations early on.
Thank you for being here. I tell you what,
Absolutely.
it's a message for every single parent watching and grandparents and caregivers too. Thank you. We appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you.
You want more information, you'll find it online at theinvictusproject.org. Again, theinvictusproject.org.